Hello, good evening and welcome to the Sixth Sense here on Joy Prime. My name is Nadu Olenu. Always a joy to be on your screens, And I'm here as usual with astute women, very beautiful, here to share their views on issues that will be discussed here on the Sixth Sense. So allow me to introduce, first and foremost, what should I start from? Okay, so here, pretty you, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Esiodua Akumia, and I am one of the hosts on Prime Morning on Joy Prime TV. I'm super excited to be here.
It's a round of applause for her. Okay, so I'll go to Mama in Red, Lady in Red.
Hey, yourself, mommy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Sixth Sense, where we bring you our perspectives. It's our views. You are free to disagree with us, but it's always fun, and I'm here, happy to be here too.
What's your name?
My name is Arabukumsi. Sorry.
Please, a round of applause for Araba. And then,
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Irene Jacobi, the female creative director of Royal Couture and also an accountant at DVLE. I'm happy to be among you today.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
okay. Interesting. We're going to have a good show today, huh? So today we are looking at regulations on religious organizations in Ghana, and then also tough economic times, threats to our national security, and our role models who you've admired for a longer time and why you admire that person. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, the show continues.
And you're welcome back to the Sixth Sense here on Joy Prime. Thanks for tuning in each and every Saturday evening. Soon we'll be delving into our first major topic, which is the regulation of religious organizations in Ghana. But this program is brought to you kind courtesy of Onga, and good food brings good memories. That is why taste matters, and Onga is the taste master. As taste masters, they give every meal that superior taste. Their wide range of Onga flavors assures you of a superior taste and irresistible aroma. So why don't you get your Onga powders? That is the stew, the 3 mix, which is a combination of ginger, onion, and garlic. They're classic, and the chicken, of course. And there's also the Onga tablets. They have it in shrimp, they have it in chicken, beef, and stew. So they have a flavor for all meals. This is just what you need for an Onga-licious meal. And by the way, Onga-licious is the new delicious. Onga, Mama's helping hand.
That's a part I
That's
love
always
so
a
much.
tricky one.
Very. And thank you very much.
All right, so let's start with our first topic, which is quite debatable, and a lot of people will love to disagree, agree to disagree on this particular matter, and it's about religion. When it comes to religion, even educated people have their own views, and it's not a uniform view. It's not a view across board. So there have been suggestions in the past that we need to regulate religious organizations in Ghana because there's so many, sprouting up. Every corner you see, a church or some mosque or something, And the fear is that, we'll wake up one day and there will be so many churches and mosques and other religious organizations, in all the areas, the communities, and what is the effect of that? And people are using this also to, or taking advantage of the loopholes to also abuse the system. So you set up a church because you don't have a job, you're unemployed, and you feel that that's the quick way of making money, making a quick buck. And so there are suggestions that maybe we need to regulate, religious organizations, but because probably we are Christians, let's restrict ourselves to churches. It's easier to talk about that. So should we be regulating churches? Because you have some churches which just sprout up because people feel that they can just set up a church, make money and get away with it, and not really care or cater for the flock. Asida, what do you think?
I mean, First off, I feel like this topic, you know, on its own is quite sensitive, because when you think about it, as a religious body, especially, you know, coming down to just Christianity, when you go into the Bible, Jesus didn't force Christianity, or he didn't force anybody to follow him. He's not forced himself for anybody to accept him as a, you know, personal savior and all that. I mean, feel free, it's your choice, whether you like it or you don't want to, is your choice. And then, but my issue here is, at the end of the day, even if there are regulations that are put up to, you know, make sure that, okay, our church is supposed to do this and do that, the activities that go on within the churches, how can you, what can you value them with? What can you hold them up against? Because there are a lot of things that go on in the churches that you mentioned that most of them, it's like, okay, you set up a church maybe because you're not doing so well financially, and you feel like starting a church is what is going to get you getting monies quick here and then and all that. But at the end of the day, even if we have the police, we have, you know, the military, we have BNI, you know, on the lookout for certain things when it comes to these religious bodies, the activities that go on
within
most of them are spiritual. Most of them are spiritual activities. How can we hold them responsible for certain spiritual things that go on in the church?
But how would you respond to those who argue that, listen, I've been called by God to go and, you know, lead his people. And so if I've been called by God, who are you to regulate me and say, don't set up a church? God has called me to lead his people.
How did he call you? How did God call you?
In a way that he called Elijah and all the others. I mean, he calls you.
Not even in a different way.
No, but you get what I mean.
I get
right?
it. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the excuse some of them will come up with. I mean, let's be fair. There are people who are genuinely called by God and, you know, lead people genuinely. But there are others who also, you know, abuse the system because they can get away with it.
I would want to see if we could we can't sideline only Christians as religious bodies, if we can relate it to all you mentioned the Muslims, and then our traditionalists, you know, our traditionalists. Now there are a lot of things going on. If you ask me, like you rightly mentioned, there are the genuine ones that are doing the right thing. But if you step out there, I am for evangelism. A lot of people are out there evangelizing. It's okay by me. In as much as people are doing the right thing by evangelizing, there are also those that, like you said, for financial gains, they are also out there preaching anything, anywhere, anyhow. You understand? So it's a worry. And nowadays they are in vicinities. Formerly you see them maybe in the markets and on the streets, but in the neighborhoods. And that's quite worrying. So regulations are agreed to. If you come to the traditionalists, because of our economic system or the things that are going on, you realize that people want to make money so fast, you know. So if the pastor cannot pray for me to get the money, probably I can't get to the traditionalist. Of course, the traditionalist himself, he's not rich, but he wants to make you rich. You understand? So you want something quick. We tend to do that, and then we sway. We do the wrong thing, and people are dying because of that. And people's lives are being put on the table because of that. So if you ask me regulations, I would say yes. But definitely it's going to affect the genuine ones as well.
Irene, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I'm sure you all know about, you know, Agrada, who some people have, described as a confidence trickster. Even though she says she's an evangelist, you know, people say that she's a confidence trickster because she finds ways of, trying to let you know that she can double money for you or make you get more money than you actually have right now. And so these are some of the people that they feel should be pulled out of the system because they are not helping the system. Mariam, what do you think?
Yes, I believe it should be regulated because, for instance, if I come to your church and you tell me I should pay money before I see the pastor. Right from there, I'll know that, excuse me to say, it's not genuine. Because I don't see why I should pay money to go and see a pastor. And then, you know, there are churches, it's so bad that now, even on TV, they sell oil.
Yes.
They sell water. And, yes, and they are like, oh, this oil goes for 400 Ghana, 1,000 Ghana. Like, when I see it, I'm like, if you want to give, let the person give out willingly to God. Exactly. I mean, you don't force the person and say that I'm selling this oil, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So to me, there should be rules and regulations. I know there is a law, I think there's a law, a PNDC law 221, which says, I mean, you can't go on with a church, after 3, it should be registered within 3 months of opening. I don't know if that law is still, if people are following
what
it.
I've heard is that some of these organizations, they set themselves up as NGOs. They are NGOs, non-governmental organizations, okay? So they are humanitarian organizations. They are serving the people, the public, yes. And so they use that as a guise to do whatever they need to do. But if we are really to regulate them, how can we regulate them? Because we've talked about regulating. This debate about whether or not to regulate them has come up several times. But it is the how. How do we do it?
I don't think it can work.
Really?
I don't think it can work. It will be difficult too.
It will be difficult.
It will be highly difficult because, like, especially you see, the country Ghana, we are oversaturated when it comes to Christianity. Christianity, when you think of Ghana, you would even say that it's a Christian country, although we have other religions.
Majority.
But majority, 71% exactly, are Christians here in Ghana. And when you see the way, I mean, with Christianity, how things are operated, you can't put them in a box. You can't restrict them to go according to something. I mean, even when you listen to some of the genuine ones, like I mentioned earlier, you know, talking about the fact that Jesus Christ will not even force himself on you to accept him as your savior. When you listen to the genuine ones and then you are going to see a man of God, I mean, your conscience will even tell you that Jesus did a whole lot of miracles. What money did he take from the people? And then a lot of us too, it is what Jesus came to do on earth that we are also trying to go according to do. So if you are in a church or you are going to see a man of God, that you see that, okay, there are certain things that do not sit right with you. There are certain things about him or about the church in particular that are not really in line with what you know or the kind of Bible stories that you might have heard from childhood. I don't see the reason why you should even still want, like Agrada's issue, for instance. The people that ended up falling for this woman, I mean,
no, but she's a confidence trickster. That's what they do best.
In the first instance,
I think because of the money.
But this is somebody that when she was a priestess, this is something that a similar thing she did. And a lot of people came out to complain about it.
That is where the traditionalists come.
Exactly. And then she tells you she's an evangelist now. She has a church and everything. And I was amazed at the number of people that were still attending the church. Every single time she has a service, the place is literally full.
What does that tell you about the people who are going to a church?
And that is my issue.
Quick money.
Quick money.
That's what I'm saying. We don't want to work more.
Quick money.
Ghanaians are gullible, unfortunately. We are highly gullible. And it is something that, you know, that is what is even making us have this conversation now in relation to religious bodies, you know, having regulations. We are highly gullible, unfortunately.
I mean, you would not go, but there's someone who tomorrow would not have any money to put food on the table, to give to her children. For that matter, she'll just go to, you know, such a person just to get something small for the next day. Not because some of them really do not believe in them, but because of what they'll get. You understand?
A man of God says, I have these amount of monies. Come to my church, bring this amount, I'll double it for you. These are the monies that I'm giving out. And then you fall for it.
You see, I mean, I understand where Na's coming from, because sometimes when you are desperate, you don't think straight. You don't think straight. Or you think about, oh, this man can double money for me. I need to pay my children's school fees. I need to buy clothes for them. I need to put food on the table. So they're not thinking straight. They're just thinking, okay, this woman can double what I have. And then that's it, they go. So that's how vulnerable people are.
Where were they when the news was reporting a lot of issues about her when she was a priestess?
If you are desperate for something, you don't hear anything.
Yes. It's terrible. It's
sad.
terrible.
It's
But
very
speaking of
terrible.
regulations, I mean, there are people who say that it can't happen in Ghana. We've come
Yeah.
too far. It's
Yeah.
going to be difficult to,
Yeah.
regulate,
Yeah.
churches or religious organizations. But there's some who argue that Rwanda has done it. In
Yeah,
Rwanda,
Rwanda.
they have regulated the system very well.
Right.
And as a pastor, you ought to have
Degree.
a first degree before you are able to
And
even
a
set
country
up a
like
church.
India, if you've not been to a theological school, you are not allowed to be a man of God. You understand? So maybe we should start inspecting these things. But you know what? They'll find ways and means to go to,
yeah.
they call it Godfather,
Prophets.
prophets, and then they'll
know,
put something
you
on
can-
paper for them. They'll definitely do it.
So are you saying that it's practically impossible to regulate these
Some-
organizations?
Maybe
somehow.
someday,
I
someday.
wish I could say it is possible. But knowing our country, Ghana, knowing our country, beloved country, Ghana,
It's not possible.
You
in
know,
the
this,
near
this proves
future.
only one thing to me, that it looks like our system is weak.
Our system is weak, huh?
Like, generally, the system, when you think of Ghana, because it means there are so many loopholes.
a lot
So
of
many
it.
loopholes that is making a lot of us even suffer here and there. Because in the first place, I mean, what Rwanda has done, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Like the way you are going to look for a job, you can't just wake up and go look for a job. You have to be qualified to look for a job. If you're going to run or you're going to operate an entity like a church, you're going to be handling lots of people. What can we hold you for if something is to happen to any church member? There is nothing like that.
and there are
But
about.
then-
Sorry, continue.
But then it's like, because like you said, it looks like it won't happen. It can't work.
If,
yeah.
if you
Because
take the
our system
traditionalists,
seems
for
weak.
instance, there is this influx of these boys. How do you call them? Is it the
Sakawa boys.
Sakawa
boys,
boys. People want quick money.
Quick money, yes.
So now they have signboards. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
They have signboards. They've written their
Sakawa boys?
numbers.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
the
the
traditionalists who have been
traditionalists.
working
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
let's double it, let's triple it, quadruple it, whatever it. You know, they have signboards, their numbers are there. You'd want to call them, come, I'll do this and that for you. And it's not making our youth work hard for the money.
I understand that some even send messages to
On
your
Instagram,
inbox. Instagram
Facebook.
and Facebook.
Sometimes
Like, I
sometimes
don't
I
even
get
know
some.
how.
I get some.
I
You
get
do?
some, and
Yeah,
I just
I
delete
I
them.
get it a lot.
Sometimes they even call. Wopɛ sika wei a mɛyɛ wei ama mɛdɔbɔ no hang up. They call you.
The impunity.
I'm telling you, they call.
They do.
Yeah. And you wonder, where
I've
did you get my
received
number from? How did you get it? Like, you
Yeah.
know?
Wow,
He's a
interesting.
ritualist.
I get it.
But you see, the thing about Rwanda is that you know how Rwanda is. Rwanda is quite controlled. It's a controlled state. You know, the leader of the country. I mean, he was the leader of an army. You know, and so he has some sort of military control over the land. It's not like Ghana. Ghana, there's a lot of freedom.
Democratic.
Yeah.
We are overly democratic, and so that's why people don't believe that it's possible to actually, you know, regulate religious organizations in Ghana, because people are going to kick against it, even if it's good. If the intention is well meant, if it's good, people will still kick against it. So, I mean, you're even going up against opposition even before you start implementing this thing. So, a lot of people feel like it's not possible. It's not going to be possible to regulate religious aid.
So
But
in
we have
Ghana,
to start
everything
from
is
somewhere.
impossible. That's what it
Or
says.
even abroad, you know,
Everything is impossible.
you know, even in abroad, the churches, they pay taxes. You know, when you go to UK, they pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Ghana here, how you can't tell how. I mean, how do we tell our pastors to even collection and the offering cries small, and you want them to pay taxes on it? And
They
I
say
mean,
that
how are
they-
you going to
they-
calculate the
their argument
taxes
is
on
that
it?
they also pay taxes in terms of electricity, because obviously their churches would need, you know, electricity to run the church, and other ways and means. You know, they pay their church staff, so they pay their state, so they are paying taxes. So when it comes to the issue of taxes, they don't even want to hear
it.
you
Well,
say
they
that
do.
churches need to be paying taxes. They need to be paying taxes. So you think that really there's no way of regulating religious bodies in Ghana?
Someday,
Absolutely.
someday.
From things we have discussed, I mean, from issues Ghana has faced, people keep talking, but we don't listen. Because if we do listen, some of these things, we can implement them. You know, the Rollins time, everything is possible if Rawlings wants to do it.
But the Rawlings time, is it the same as now?
That is the problem.
Is it the same as the
It is the second PDD era. I didn't say that.
Interesting. But let's turn to our studio audience, and we want to hear your views and thoughts about this particular issue. Do you think that religious organizations should be regulated? What are your thoughts? Any thoughts to share? Who has the microphone? Okay.
Okay, so to me, I think it should be, because what annoys me the most is
Hey,
those...
something annoys you. Release it.
Okay, no, really, I shouldn't say annoy, but then it's just...
Madam, annoy is
it's-
annoy.
Yes, it's those who stand at the roadside. Some of them, like, you won't even hear any scripture out of their mouth. Oh, for one city, bra, nyame be sure.
Do you
Like,
stand
just
to listen
that.
to the entire preaching?
No, but like
Yes,
almost all the
person.
time when I'm passing, like it's the same thing. Not all of them though, but some are
Some,
just there
yes.
for the money.
Yes.
So I think it should be. And the noise, like they will think of, like it's so loud. Even in your room, you'll be hearing so much noise that's come like all that. It's
By
not
someone
right.
I guess
that
to them
don't
it will
broadcast
be-
behind your
To
house.
them, it will be evangelizing.
It's
They're going out
exactly
into the world
right.
to
Yeah.
preach.
It's
but,
scriptural
preaching the
to
word of God,
evangelize,
yeah.
but
Yes.
we have the bad nuts amongst that.
Yeah,
is
but you have to
spoiling
draw the line
everything.
where-
Yes.
Yeah.
pollution.
Yes.
You can evangelize, but you can't just be polluting people's ears, you know. Who else has...
I think it should be regulated. Yeah, because, whatever the pastor preaches or the preacher man is teaching his members, it has a way of influencing the members. And then at the end, it will influence, I think, the society. And yeah, so I think it should be regulated.
But where should we start from? We all talk about regulating, religious bodies, but where do we start from?
We can start from somewhere. We can start from
Where is somewhere
because-
means?
From your church.
Somewhere.
Yeah, because if we always put up this attitude that, oh, where are we starting from? We are never going to start. Yeah, so we should.
For instance, maybe they should take them out from the streets or what?
We should start by taxing them,
Okay.
because especially the Christian religion, most pastors exploit people, exploit people, yeah, from that religion. So I think it should be regulated.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, there's a gentleman behind you.
Okay, so talking about the regulations, we shouldn't base it only on the leaders. We, the human beings going to the church too, we are at fault. We tend to listen to things that are not interested. We put interest in things that are not needed. Example, and then talking about the religion case, it is mostly based on Christianity and then traditional religion. Because people want, as the youths want the quick money syndrome. They want the easy way to everything. So if the youth themselves are advising themselves to stop that and going to work, if the members are going to take the Bible, read it, and then understand its thoughts, I think there is no need to regulate it, because they'll understand what they are going in for. So talking about regulations, we should also base on the youths, the individuals in the nation too. I think it will be best, not depending everything on regulations too. Thank
I
you.
think he deserves a round of applause, please. Nice one.
All right, interesting thoughts there. This is The Sixth Sense. We're taking a short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And you're welcome back to Sixth Sense. And before we went on a break, we were speaking on religious bodies in Ghana. Should they be regulated? I mean, what is your thoughts out there? We had some studio audience saying it should be, others are saying it shouldn't. Some of us over here are also saying that it shouldn't, and it should be. Anyway, so moving on to the next topic for discussion. We all are aware of what is happening in the current state of the economy in Ghana, and not just in Ghana, all over the world. Yes, we are all suffering. But with the current state.
Obre.
Is that Maybre?
Obre.
The one my
Obre.
shepherd, no, don't let it deceive you. My shepherd, who, my wife, we makeup, me paper.
Tell us more.
Ah, yeah. Don't let it deceive you. Will be able. Anyway, so, you know, the current state of the economy, is that a threat to our national security? I mean, how are people really feeling? A lot of people out there, or maybe, okay, I personally, I feel sometimes that maybe I'm something. Yeah, because it's like people are hungry, especially the young people. Yeah. You are in traffic. Now, the rate at which young boys are knocking on your windows and asking for money, begging for money, it has increased. It has massively increased, unfortunately, and so, and majority of the times, when my glasses are, when my windows are down, and then I'm heading towards, like, I know that, okay, I see some boys over there. The moment I see them, I start rolling the windows back up, because like I don't know what your intention could be. Exactly, and most of the times too, if let's say it's in the evening, it's late in the night, anything at all can happen. The cars in town have reduced. Anything at all can happen. But then the question here is, with everything that is going on, with we being hungry here and there, people are crying, salaries are not being increased. Even if you are working, there's no increment in your salary. You're still taking what? Exactly.
Prices are going up.
And prices are going up, exactly. And then those that were already not working and having issues with getting jobs, unfortunately, it's still the same, and it's even worse. How is that a threat to us feeling safe in our homes, in our workplaces, in our cars, anywhere at all that we find ourselves? Anyways, I mean,
so we all know, I mean, the crisis confronting the country right now.
Yeah.
We are in tough economic times, and with that, you know, did I say with that, you know? With that, exactly. I mean, it's we're in dire straits. We have not been in a crisis like this, I think, in the last 20 or so years, or 30 or so years. Let me say 30 or so years. So, I mean, people are frustrated.
Yeah.
There's very little money to go around, and people are cutting people off. When I say cutting people off, I mean layoffs. So people are getting laid off.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's not enough money.
Yeah.
And then people are getting laid off, as in, you know, they're losing their jobs. So you can't make money to put food on the table. That is a threat to national security, because what is happening is that it's creating unemployment. And when people don't have employment or a means of making money, they find alternative means, because they have to eat. They have to eat. And so if it means that they are going to resort to maybe armed robbery or something else, you know, devious ways of making money so that they eat, it is a threat to national security. So yes, I mean, we're in tough economic times. You can say people should be strong, people should be assured that, okay, things will be better. But in the meantime, how are people taking care of themselves? People who've been affected by the economic crisis and can't make the money that they used to make, they resort to other means. And so, yeah, I think that, I mean, beyond prayer, I don't know what else we can do, because really it's tough for a lot of people. You and I may be just okay right now. I mean, we can put food on the table right now, but there are many others out there who have to struggle for even just one meal a day. And can you imagine those, even before the economic crisis, people who were struggling for one meal a day, now it's even worse for them, you know. So it's truly a national security issue, and I think that the government should be up and doing before, you know, it blows up in our faces.
Irene.
Yes, I believe this economic crisis is having a lot of issues, and is going to pose a problem for the nation. For instance, now because the economy is hard, let's say an opposition party can say that, oh, this party is not performing well, the president is not performing well, so let's do a coup, which has happened before. Let's do a coup so that we can overthrow the government, and then we take over and see how it goes. So this hardship, and then, you know, there's a lot of unemployment.
Do you think that in this day and age, a coup is possible?
Oh, everything is possible.
Back in the past, I mean, they used GBC, but right now you have, you know, there's so many radio
So
stations
many.
and television stations. Why are you going to sit and say, I'm taking over the country?
But
Everybody should go and
you
sleep.
will never know.
It's not possible.
You will never know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, every year there are a lot of people completing university, polytechnics, and they come out after national service. There's no work. I mean,
jobs, exactly.
it's so bad that parents spend money to take their wards to school, and then after school, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, there's no job. I mean, after service, they ask you to go home because of the economic. There's no money.
Yes.
There's no money. Nobody is. No one is ready to employ you, because even for instance, even in our sewing business, now you know all the workers, they are asking for pay increments, and you know when you go to town too, prices have increased. Customers are complaining, workers are complaining, we are also complaining. And to me, it poses a threat, because sometimes they even threaten, okay, then, because most of them are not Ghanaians, okay, we want to go back to our country, because, yes, because now Ghana is too hard for us. Yeah. I mean, to me, and you know, it's also creating social vices, like it makes some of the wards go into prostitution, which at the end of the day can lead to unwanted pregnancies, and then through that they can perform an abortion, and some people die in all. So, I mean, this economic hardship is not easy. I mean, even fuel, Charlie, now you buy fuel small, quick, it's gone.
But luckily, thanks be to God, it's decreasing. The amount is, you know, it has moved from 17 point. Yeah. Now some are selling at 16.82. Some are selling 16.22. Slightly,
like 1 city.
Still.
Even that, with that, there's a slash, whatever. I mean, we don't deserve it as a country. We don't deserve this as a country at all.
Yeah.
It's no more a joke, you know.
I used to be
like,
a joke before.
No.
I'm just kidding.
You've seen some of the things that people put on social media.
Yeah.
Very funny things, and sometimes I just sit and say, "Hey, So he said, okay, so if Sikam Pedede, then they should move the bank,
Central Bank,
from Makola, because there's a lot of noise at Makola. We make, you know, jokes about all these, and that's one thing I like about Ghanaians. If we're to be some other country, things would have happened, you know. But now I'm saying that it's no more a joke, because we are suffering. Our shoes are not fitting anymore. We can't wear it anymore. Yes, already there's issue of unemployment, like they mentioned. You finish your uni, and there is no job.
And that's a serious thing.
It's serious.
That's a serious thing I think we should be thinking about.
Aside that,
there's so many students coming out from the free SHS policy who are going into universities. Thousands of students, and yet there are no jobs waiting for them.
There are no jobs. And then coupled with that, there's increments in fuel prices, increments in foodstuff, increments everywhere. So I'm not getting a job, and then you come and everything is being increased. I mean, I'll definitely, like she mentioned, prostitution, I'll do anything to get money. And that is where the national security comes in, because you have a lot of work to do. You know how things are going. You know these, what do you call it, the money lenders. Now, there are more of them. Or situation now, a common for. I got the money. I'm lending. I put interest on it. Whatever, the period for you to pay. And if you are unable to pay, it will become another issue. Can you criminal? No. It becomes another issue, because I've given you money, you are not paying. So then the national security has a job to do. If I'm not paying, it's because I don't have the money. In the first place, I didn't have. That is why I came to you as a money lender. And I still do not have. And I don't know when I'll get.
Right.
Do you get it? Things are so difficult. I think that, I don't know, I'm tired of saying we should do something about it, because no matter how many times you say it, those are the top. When they pass it, it goes
somewhere else.
What about our studio audience? I'm sure they have some thoughts to share about
who would want to talk? Oh, everything is cool, yeah? Everything is going well for you. Everything is going well. Tell us, please.
Really? They are not facing it.
What is... see, all this polish, there's pain under.
I tell you. You have no idea.
Come on, talk to us.
Beatrice. I think it's a big threat today to Ghana, because even a hungry person is a angry person. Yeah.
That's true.
So I want to apply it to daily life, like even in Trotsky. Because of 50 pesos, like people don't have money. You see them fight over it, like people even die as a result of that. Because
heard of
I've
the
seen
case.
Yeah.
the
Was it
mates,
two cities,
the
right?
bus
Yeah,
conductors.
two cities,
Yeah. So it's a big threat to Ghana. Yeah.
A huge threat. Okay, who else?
I love the way you're passing the microphone. Okay, I think you would want to say something.
Okay, so like my friend said, that it's a threat to Ghana. It is. And you realize that, let's take for instance the students, even in the tertiary institutions now, some of them, they probably are working and schooling at the same time, and looking at how things are happening, the prices of things going up every now and then, the possibility that I would want to go into something to get quick money is very high. And especially if what we call the peer pressure, if you find yourself among friends that every now and then they are coming up with things, buying new things, you are easily going to fall for it. Yes, and it is a threat, because when it happens like that, you'd see that most of our youth will turn into something else that we cannot really explain. And these are people that we are looking up to also lead the country in years to come. So if they are going through such situations now, what do you think that when they also get to the top, what would they be doing? Yeah, so it's really a big threat to the nation.
Okay. I mean, I want to use this opportunity to say this. Two things. First thing is that I want a lot of parents out there to stop by force, your child has to be a doctor. By force, your child has to be a lawyer. And so when they are going to the tertiary institution, you want them to study law. You want them to study science. You want them to study, all those big professions that have big titles and then all that.
Right.
There are so many professions out there that even whilst they are in school, they could still be doing something for themselves, whilst they are still studying on it and all that. And then the second thing that I want to say is multiple streams of income. It's very important. Even whilst you are in school, you can start something for yourself, learn a trade. Because at this moment, if you say we are going to rely on government to provide for us, they will disappoint you. They will disappoint us. And so if I, for instance, I'm not just relying on, being paid just because I'm doing media. A combedeme mean to me. Yes, I'll be hungry.
That's the truth.
Yes.
To do something.
So I need to do something on the side. If I have an opportunity to do an MC gig, I will grab it and then do it and get my money. Even if a 200 cedis, magic, it's still money.
It's still money, yeah.
So, and then we shouldn't be too greedy as to, no, maybe you feel like this opportunity, you've been given an opportunity, all right, but then you feel like it's too small for you because probably you feel you are too big for that opportunity. Hey, at this moment, in this current state and economy, nobody is too big for anything. You are not too big for anything at all. So if you have the opportunity to get something doing for yourself, gain some money, side hustle, all that, jump on it and get going.
You can't bet it.
Yeah. No long talk.
That song.
No long talk.
We have to take a break. These are very interesting views, but you're watching The Sixth Sense here on Joy Prime. Don't go away, because I can guarantee you our next topic will be full of fun. You want to stay and listen.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Sixth Sense here on Joy Prime. And topic for discussion now. Very interesting. I mean, we've all been kids before, right? So as you were growing up, there was someone that you looked up to, you said, oh, I wish this person would be my role model, or I would grow to be like this person. And then also, we want to find out why you love the person, why that particular person. And then, who you also had crush on.
I can't wait to talk about mine.
Okay, let's start from you. At this
With a
moment, we are
crush.
kids.
Yeah. So from childhood, my first crush,
Oh.
Hollywood actor Tom Cruise.
Hey.
Like I used to sometimes even imagine being his wife.
Hey.
She's sweating.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I was,
what
you
is
know,
it
fair
about
or
him?
I was white, I would be blushing.
Oh.
What is
right
it
now.
about him? Like, because I hear Tom Cruise is very short.
Oh, why am I around? At this point,
Obi a preference.
You
Obi per
understand?
short. Obi per 10.
Yeah. But you know, because I was a kid, I wasn't really just watching Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't that much, I wasn't too young though, so please don't do the calculations and think that I was a small dog or something. Anyway, so just watching Mission Impossible and then seeing how he was fighting, and then like, we John Aboso, and then like, you know, like the hair, like basically his physique and how he was, you know, the roles that he used to play in most of his movies was super, super attractive to me. And then I felt like, in my head, I always imagined that I would want to marry a man like that one day. Somebody that, who can fight for me. Oh, and like, no, like, funny enough, I had that thought as a very young girl. I want a man who can fight for me. If I go and bring trouble, you know.
Do you still have that in your mind?
No, I've grown.
Men of today, they can't fight.
I know, right?
They don't fight, actually.
You will fight your own battle.
They will look at you, you fight, and you meet them at the back.
I mean, so yeah, me, it was Tom Cruise. And then coming to
The role model.
Role model, I loved Gifty Auntie. Growing up, Emma Morrison. Emma Morrison was one lady that anytime I'm sitting behind my TV and I'm watching her read the news, I'll go like, hey, lady, eat a brothel. I want to grow up and be like her. I want to grow up and then see myself also seated behind the cameras reading the news. And so I started talking like her at some point. Growing up, yeah, because I was intentional. I was intentional. I wanted to be like Emma Morrison. I wanted to see myself like Gifty Auntie. Anytime we would be, the whole family would just be watching Sandpoint. I'm like, this woman, I love the way she's just expressing herself. And then my mother would always tell me, Mami, me person yes Mami way, person yes lady way. And I am so proud of myself right now.
Yes.
Because I'm doing media. Like I'm super proud of me.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Gifty Auntie. Shout out to you, Emma Morrison, and every other, you know, lady in the media industry that is, like, you don't know. You are inspiring a lot of people out there. You really are, and I'm happy about my journey.
Emma Morrison is someone who I also looked up to when I started my media career. Even before I started, she and another lady, her name was Beatrice Edu. Beatrice Edu was a GBC news anchor at GBC. Yes. And you know, Beatrice Edu was just so, I thought she was just the perfect, you know, blend of beauty and brains. I mean, this woman, she will come, she will speak good English, look straight in the camera. You know, I mean, she was perfect. She made no mistakes, and I said, I'll be like her when I grow up. And you know, I actually used to stand in front of the mirror when I was about like 10 or 11. You know, imitating her, you know, trying to act like if I was reading the news.
Right.
Fast forward to like 10 years later, I'm reading the news.
I know.
Amazing, isn't it?
And editor one.
Yes, editor one.
And who did I have a crush on? You would never guess.
Oh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You like people who fight. You like people who fight.
No.
Because you create problems.
No. Look, when I was growing up and I was watching his movies, I realized that he was so huge.
Yeah.
And he used to beat everybody, all the bad guys. He used to beat all the bad guys. And I was like, wow, this guy is a good guy. He's strong, he's tall, he's handsome. You know, he's everything. So, you know, naturally, I had a crush on him. So, yeah.
But seeing him now, how do you feel?
Now, he's an old man. But no,
know, right?
I'll forever have that image etched in my mind about him. You know, growing up as a young kid and seeing him, because what he was doing was good. He was good versus evil. was trying to, you know, beat the evil people. And the message out there was that it's not good to do evil.
Yeah.
Good always triumphs. So yeah, he's still, you know, my crush.
Okay. Irene, you've been thinking.
Okay.
So what's on your mind? Share.
Okay, growing up, I think Gifty Auntie and then Beatrice Edu. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
and I loved Beatrice Edu to the extent that when she was having her wedding, I remember at Allied, I didn't know her, but I had to be at the wedding just to go and watch.
Wow.
Yes, and you know, Gifty, Auntie Gifty and all of them were there. So I had a chance to see them, even though I was a kid. I had a chance to see them. So, and today, well, I didn't go into media. I didn't want the media anyway.
But you're
I
working
just
with some of them.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. I'm working with them. I just admire them from afar. And so one day when Auntie Gifty, I met her, she gave me a hug. She was like, oh, Roya Kuto. I'm like, oh my God. So I'll use this opportunity. The youth, don't think at the palm is not good. Fashion can take you far. Charlie, the people that sometimes you meet, it can take you far.
Right.
Yeah, because of fashion, I've been able to meet a lot of, celebrities, a lot of honorable ladies here. I mean, you see them on TV and then you have to see them face to face. It's not easy.
And she'll be styling us soon. I need to put this on record. National television. Royal Couture. But what do you think? Signed, sealed,
Delivered. Yes. Delivered.
Yes. So about the crash,
Hey,
you didn't bring problem.
Come on, come on.
Just, oh.
Husband is watching, but husband understands.
So, as for me, he is a Ghanaian. That's Chris Atto.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I always like handsome guys. If you are not handsome and you say you want me, like, I like handsome tall guys. You know, he's handsome.
Yeah, my lane.
Yeah,
my lane.
So, yeah. That one.
Araba said, but he's short. It means you also like the tall one. Some people, we are sorry.
Yeah, because I'm short, you know, I have to go in for.
Yeah.
You have to consider the children, you know. Yeah, so
There needs to be a balance.
yeah, you need to. I mean, anytime I see him on TV, the way he's gentle, handsome, the way his acting, I didn't know. You know, sometimes I could even watch and cry. I didn't know they were just acting. So the way
I'm
he
sure
handles.
his voice was also.
Yes. So
Okay.
I was crashing on him, and then maybe Majid.
Michelle.
Yeah, Majid Michelle. You know, he's also handsome. This half
like
coat.
The handsome. Please, if you are not handsome, don't go to Royal Couture.
Now how about you?
Okay, so, why? All right, so I am Gifty Afenin Dadze and then Mama Joyce Ayi.
Okay.
I love them. The fact that they were able to make it in life and climb onto higher heights and still hold on with God. That's it for me. You know, it gets to a point where when everything is working for you as a lady, the money is there. You make it big time. Sometimes we forget about God.
Right.
But these two people, Joyce Ayi, I've admired her from afar, and then Gifty Afenin Dadze. I mean, the positions they held here in Ghana, coupled with being a Christian, and not just a Christian, holding fast and doing the things of God like nobody's business.
That's true.
That's it for me.
That's true.
Because I love God to bits. So if I can just make it and still hold on to this God that I serve, these two people, that's
Hallelujah. Who's your crush now?
Hallelujah,
That's what we wanna
hallelujah.
know.
it. Let's come to the flesh.
Who's your crush?
Let's come to the flesh. I love Steve Harvey.
Okay. Is your crush?
Yes.
Why? What about him? Is because he makes
So-
people laugh?
His sense of humor.
Okay.
And the man speaks wisdom.
Yeah.
He speaks wisdom. Even if he's penalizing you or he's saying something that you ought to be angry, the way he says it
Okay.
and the wisdom he speaks, his sense of humor. I mean, who wouldn't want such a man?
Steve
if
Harvey.
if I do something bad you don't like, say it the way you want to say, but
Yeah.
after that, please pamper me and let me feel the sense of humor and start laughing again.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the audience. Who is your crush? And
It's a crush here.
It's
It's your crush.
Oh, they don't want to talk about their crush.
It's your crush here.
They're shy.
I heard some of the cameramen said their crushes on set.
Hey.
Should we?
I heard someone say their crush is wearing black.
Hey, crush is wearing black. What about the crush? Is it the eyes? Okay, let's talk, darling.
Growing up, I've always loved Sarkodie. Yeah, even though I don't have any ambitions of being a rapper or anything, but like I like his personality, his personal life, how he goes about things and all that. Yeah, and then I think I like Kojo Sobo too. Yeah, so one
Kojo
great
Sobo,
guy.
okay.
Yeah, Kojo
What about
Sobo.
him?
He's very visionary. Yeah, he's
Okay.
a visionary, solid guy.
Nice,
yeah, I like
nice.
him.
What about your crush? Who's your crush?
I don't have a crush.
Oh, guys, stop it! You have a crush.
Okay, who's the next person who's going to share? Okay.
Oh, did you believe that?
He said he doesn't
The
have a
money.
crush.
He should have.
Maybe because he's
She's
on
right
television.
there. She said she's there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crush wave.
Availed herself.
Crush wave.
She's
Amazing.
availed herself.
So beautiful. Wow.
Hey.
We are witnessing the unfolding of a love
Like,
story.
are we serious here?
Okay, the next
Is he
person.
serious?
Okay, no, he says he's joking.
Yeah,
Okay.
kidding.
Who else wants to share who their role model is? And
Okay, so growing up, I had wanted to become an actor.
okay.
Yeah, that was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So as time went on, I changed the ambition to become a journalist. And recently, the advert about Akrobeto becoming this great person in his dreams. Let's take the jokes outside, but if it was to be true, we would see that he has come a long way for that.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you are taking out the jokes from it and then taking it as an ambition in life, I think it will take us far. Because if he wasn't to be dreaming and he was to be going to these Al Jazeera, BBC, becoming this great personality in life,
You said it just the way you said Al Jazeera.
people would say, oh, Akrobeto, Ofri, Achim, Airebi, baby, say, Akosi, say. So I liked the way he was. He was very determined in life. And then let's talk about the crush. So I had a crush
he's
on.
your role model.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Akrobeto.
Yeah.
And
Oh, nice.
the crush, I'll say Mac Brown or Meg Brown.
Yeah.
Is it her beauty
Neck
or
brown.
is it charm
Yes,
or his,
yes,
it's
yes.
a talent? What is it?
The talent is part. Everything she does, it's like it's natural.
Yeah.
She does everything
baby, I am
naturally.
fit.
Yes.
What
Yes.
about the
Omuna
ladies?
cry out fit.
What about the ladies? We want to hear from the ladies too. Who's your role model?
So my
Role model
crush
growing up, and then your crush as
is
well.
I started with crush.
Troy Bolton.
Say again.
High School Musical, Troy Bolton.
High school music.
High School Musical.
And then
Wow.
my role model is Nana Banamwa.
Okay.
Oh.
What about her? What about her? Tell us about
She
why.
speaks good English.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay. All right. Who else?
She didn't talk about her crush. She did.
Yeah, she
Right,
mentioned
She
it.
did. She mentioned it.
Joy of High School Musical.
Okay.
All right, so for me, growing up and up till now, I keep seeing myself within the acting industry.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have a lot of Ghanaian actors that I do inspire, but recent time when I'm a lover of movies, so when I started watching more of Viola Davis movies, and then I listened to one documentary about her life and how everything started from her family to where she is now. I really got inspired, and I was like, wow, if this lady could get to where she is, then I would really want to be like her.
Yeah.
Yes, and anytime I watch her movies, I just find myself in those roles. I'm really excited, like literally everything about her. Yes, and then about my crushes, a whole lot.
Hey! Sister. Sister, please, one. Hold on. Okay, tell us, just give us one. There should be one particular person that, you know.
Allow, make it two. He says it's a whole lot, so at least make it two.
I shall give you.
All right, so I like Israel Lai.
Okay.
His voice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
How he's able to, you know, doing the news, his voice and everything. Yes. And then also this guy. Usually those times when we used to watch Pusha, he was the one who played the Ajetiana. Yes.
Okay.
He's a cool guy. Like everything about him. Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't met him in person before, but then there's this sister program on Joy FM Saturday mornings, and I remember there was a time that I think the wife was on the show and they were talking about him, how he's cool and everything, and I was like, wow, yes. But then growing up, I always had a crush on him.
All right, thank you. So you don't have a crush here, you guys. See if I find this. Abba is single. Are you people? You can't handle.
Hey, I'm not single.
Hey, for the records, the last time
Wrap
we checked,
up and let's go.
the last time we checked, Abba was single. All right, thank you very much. It's been the Citizens. We'd want to say a big thank you to Onga Seasoning, and then to us, to the audience. Thank you very much. And to Araba, the lady in red. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. Irene, it's good having you. And then also, Isiedua, would you come again? Would you want to be here again?
Of course, this was exciting and very insightful. I can't wait to be back.
All right. Thank you also for watching. It's been the Citizens here on Joy Prime. My name is Nadu Oleno. From all of us, see you next week.
Thank you.